PWO, 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 PWO.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to PWO Underground.
It's like a mix of Tony Hawk's Underground mixed with Raw Underground.
As always, I'm the Shane McMahon of this show. I'm your host, the best in the world, Matt. I was gonna let that one. We're just gonna let that one. All right. Sitting next to me, we have Ben from Colorado. We have the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Jeff Hitman Hall.
Hello, hello.
And as always, backed by popular demand, we got Pat.
I like how your and Jeff's nicknames are
The
clashing.
same thing. Yeah.
And yet I can't even get the All-American American heel.
No. Remember, we dropped that because you're now the attractive guy at the end of the couch, according to Carrie Silken.
Both.
Nope. We've dropped gimmicks. It's happened. So, there's a lot to go over tonight. And real quick, just the slightest of mentions here, because I don't want to go into details. Lord knows we've kind of talked about situations that we don't want to get in legally. Just hope everything is okay with Marty Jannetty. His message that he had put out raised a lot of concerns and investigations. We just hope everything is okay. I think that's the best way to put that one. But from one bomb to another, let's talk about Lance Storm's opinion and why we should shut down intergender wrestling. So, Jeff, I know you haven't seen this yet.
No.
Lance Storm went to Twitter recently, actually this morning, and said, I see some discussion on intergender wrestling matches. Again, this is stemming from Kylie Ray's match at Game Changer Wrestling against Cole Raddick, I believe his name is. In light of speaking out, I think these matches have to stop. I've heard from so many women who were uncomfortable doing these but felt obligated to get booked because these matches were accepted norms. For every intergender match that happens in a top company with professional conduct, there are dozens of women who agree to be booked in a women's on a multi-show loop that gets there and finds out the other women didn't show up, maybe was never booked, and now she has to agree to do intergender matches and be the only woman on the tour, or lose all the booking and risk heat from canceling. There is then pressure to sharing a room because everyone else is doubling up. This happens. Navia kind of said this does happen and is astounding the amount of people who think it is okay to room men and women, especially without clearing it. I'm a married woman, and the only way another man is in my room would be because my husband is also there. And Lance Storm responded, and often if the woman complains, she's labeled as difficult on the indie scene. Session Moth Martina said, I think we should be allowed the choice to have an intergender match if we want to, hopefully in a safe environment where no woman or man will feel uncomfortable in that situation again. And Lance Storm once again responded, explain to me how to make that happen at the indie level, and I'm with you. He also goes on to say many of the women that he's trained have struggled and have come to him saying they're uncomfortable with it and they're worried they're not going to get booked. Guys, responses.
I also just want to throw this out there. Our good friend of the show, multiple-time guest, Beer City Bruiser, had a take on this on Twitter, saying that his take on intergender wrestling that he's been hit harder by some women than men. I've had amazing matches with women. I've trained women and had them do the same drills with the men, and they're a lot tougher. Women are strong. This isn't the 50s. It can be done respectfully. Which I agree with. If it's done well and it's done respectfully, I could get behind it. I just don't think we've seen that in recent times where it's been done well or respectfully.
If I could jump in here. So
if you could be serious for a minute.
I think both things can be true. And if anybody listened to this debacle with Joey Ryan or He Who Shall Not Be Named, if you listen to that and you saw all of that, then Lance Storm is 100%. Now, I think both are correct. Two things can be true. Every situation is different. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, like, really what Lance Storm said, I mean, that man, that hits a lot of nails on a lot of heads for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure, man, people, there are guys out here that are creeps. Now, every guy isn't a creep, but some of that stuff he said was right. And I also think Beer City Bruiser is correct as well. Like no one's. I mean, I'm not saying that the women can't wrestle like that.
No.
I don't think. Well, from where the soapbox I'm standing on, that's not my argument. No, I'm not the biggest fan of intergender wrestling, just because I just feel like it does nothing for both people. But I mean, we talked about it on this show. Tessa and Sami Callihan was probably about the best you could do it. You know what I mean? Just the way they did it and the way they pulled it off. I thought was good. No, but again, still intergender wrestling. But yeah, I mean, if I think we're just having a mix of one doesn't speak for all. Every situation is different. But if I had to side, I would side with maybe Lance Storm. Not that it needs to be shut down. I don't think it needs to be shut down.
Yeah.
But I could see that trail of breadcrumbs, like you said, about women being labeled this, and if they don't want to do this, if they don't want to do that, like that probably sucks.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, I totally agree with you, and I think the rooming women with men kind of pushes the boundaries a little bit, unless it is husband, wife, or it is a very close set of friends that don't have any sexual attraction.
Well, I think as long as everyone's cool with it and there's no issues.
Yeah, it needs to be cleared with both parties before anything is set in stone.
Yeah. It can't be surprised.
You shouldn't be getting to the hotel and like, hey, you're staying with this guy.
Get booked on a show and all of a sudden you're the only woman on the show.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I mean, I don't think this happens anywhere near as often, but if you're the only guy for a show, like, hey, can you work a manager or?
Again, this whole Joey Ryan thing has opened my eyes to it. It pulled back the curtain on a lot of stuff that's going on. And listen, if Joey Ryan's doing it, he's not the only one doing it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? He's not the only one doing it.
There's a lot of names on that list.
So I'm probably gonna have the toughest take on this, to be honest. I don't necessarily have an issue with the intergender wrestling, but here's the problem I do have with it. Part of booking is booking something believable. There are so few women wrestlers, that I am going to believe are going to be able to beat a man in a match. I mean, there are obvious exceptions.
I'm with you, Pat.
Asuka Ellsworth.
Like I said, there are exceptions, but like, don't book Becky Lynch wrestling Wardlow and tell me you think Becky Lynch is gonna do anything but get ragdolled.
Nope.
It just is not believable.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really think there's room for it in wrestling. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, if you have the right person, an Awesome Kong can go out there and believably, beat some cruiserweights and throw some cruiserweights around.
And I'll add to that.
I don't have a problem with that. But at the same time, like, even Tessa's a very, very good women's wrestler. I don't believe that you can beat up Sami Callihan. I'm sorry.
No.
That was never her winning the men's world title. One, it just wasn't believable because she's not going to beat Sami Callihan in a fight. Two, you also diminish all the other women on your show when you have a woman win the men's world title. You've now there should be no reason any other woman in that company beats that woman when she goes back to. There's no going back to a women's division for her.
No.
And that's dumb too. It's
the same scenario as holding both the main and the mid card titles. It's why is anybody going to go after the mid card title?
And Pat, I have, that's the same problem I have with it, and I agree with you 100%. But I also think a lot of it, and we talk about this all the time amongst ourselves, is people tend. Matt, I don't mean like people like you, but like you're always cluing me in on what the internet wrestling community is, the pulse of it.
Unfortunately.
So. Yeah. But there's guys and gals in the internet wrestling community, and they love these things.
Oh, yeah.
Like they absolutely. I mean, I've been to shows. Like I've seen. They love these things. So
people pop when you see a big move, like a chick pull a big move on a guy or something. Like,
Yeah,
and I get that, like it's supposed to be a big spot and shit like that, but you just again, the whole part about booking is that it's a believable thing.
Yeah, it's.
Pat,
it's
I'm in
and-
lockstep
think-
with you, brother.
I think we all agree. We wanted two things. We want it believable, and we want it to.
And I'm gonna add to that real
and-
quick because the match that kind of
Can I close on what I like? Just my
yeah.
thoughts
for
on
it.
it?
Good,
Yeah.
good.
So with Session Moth, like I respect what she's saying a ton. Like I shouldn't, like if I'm cool with wrestling guys, I shouldn't miss out on potential
Paydays.
dream matches or paydays
Yeah.
because I'm okay with doing it
Mhm.
if I agree to it. And while I respect that, again, like, so who are your dream matches? Like, if you're gonna wrestle Randy Orton, like, why should anyone want to watch that?
Why
first
is
of
that
all?
believable?
Why should we expect anything to happen other than like Randy Orton refusing to hit you first, you slapping him, and him RKOing you? Like,
Yeah,
well, there's
yes.
the booked match.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate to sound so like condescending to women wrestling because women's wrestling is the best it's ever been. There are some amazing
You're not.
women wrestlers in the world. I just like I don't have any time to believe like
Nope.
any woman in the WWE is gonna get in the ring with Randy Orton or
Pat, you're not dissing.
AJ Styles.
Well, be careful what you wish there because they have been pushing and putting their feet in the water with Nia Jax having a match there. Especially a lot of word is that the stuff with
Nia
Pat
Jax
Buck is
can't
gonna
win a
happen.
women's world title.
Yeah,
She's
She
won the
li-
Raw Women's title a couple times.
She can't beat Asuka. She can't seem to beat Alexa Bliss consistently.
She may be the
So-
only. Yeah, she actually may be the only example of it, but they've booked her so wrong that they can't do it now anyway.
Exactly. Like if she steamrolled,
She's probably the only one
women's
on the
division
planet.
I mean,
Yeah.
And just to kind of add to this, because what I was saying before I interrupted Pat, so I apologize. The match that started this was Kylie Ray versus Cole Raddick, and I want to say Cole Raddick might be just similar size as Kylie Ray, as well as it being a hardcore match. So, like, on all accounts, this match was believable in terms of similar
Believable
size
and-
and ability to, hit each other with something hard.
Yeah.
see, and I
Cole
don't like
Raddick
that.
won.
So here's the thing.
I disagree.
I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate it even more now because it's a
hardcore match. Yep.
Because now you have a man hitting a woman with chairs and probably blood.
Tags,
we're probably
everything
seeing
else.
red. It's probably she's probably gonna bleed.
I don't believe so. I think only he did.
Okay, well, again,
I've seen Candice LeRae gush, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
Oh, yeah.
gush.
and that's the thing. Like, it's counterintuitive to everything that we're trying to push for culturally.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem I do have, and this is I think where Lance Storm's point is, like, with the speaking out, like all these women want equality as far as like, don't book me this way, don't do this, let me be treated like a normal talent. Well, at
No,
the
I
same
think also
time,
just safety for them in general.
well, and that's what I'm saying. But
That's
that's
the
what I'm
big thing.
saying. Like, we can't promote that type of violence against women, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Pat. I think with our current social standing, both in wrestling and just with what's going on, I don't really think I don't want to say it's a bad idea, but it's not a complete good idea either to be promoting, hey, men can beat women.
Well, for me, I disagree with that. Like, listen, like we say on this show, get your money. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to, you got to get it however you want to get it. Yeah. Now, listen, is it my cup of tea of seeing like a guy bash a girl over head until she's bloody? No, not necessarily. I mean, obviously I'll watch it, but no, I'm not going to watch 10 matches. No, but I'm saying if it's on the card, it's on the card. I'm not going to watch 10 matches like that in a row.
Yeah, no, I don't want to watch, Bailey
no.
versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
all
in
night.
a death match. A death match.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, listen, like
if you get Nia Jax versus Grand
at the same
Metalik,
time,
like for just a throw off match,
as
fine.
long as the situation is fine, like both said parties are fine with it, then yeah, I mean, do it. I
As
mean,
long
and
as it
women
makes
want to
sense.
women want to be equal. It's equal. Well, it's never going to make sense, but I mean, if they want to be equal in the ring, then go right ahead. But I'm with Pat in the same sense of it. It's like I don't necessarily have to like it, or booking wise, it doesn't make make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with Lance Storm on this in that I am not gonna go out of my way to see an intergender match personally, But if there's a match on a card that I'm gonna go see, it's not gonna stop me from gonna go seeing it.
Yeah.
But I want
yeah.
I do want it to be done safe. We've learned so much just in these past couple months with everything with speaking out that we do not. Yeah, we don't want these situations to keep happening. I think that is the biggest part of this is keep the talent safe. I think Lance Storm's coming at this as a trainer who's had his students come up to him and say, like, this is not something I'm comfortable with. So I think that's where he's drawing the line of that. It can't be done.
Well,
but
I'm sure he's plugged in and in the know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of firsthand information from people in his.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people who are getting this information from, they're professional wrestlers. They know
more than we do.
They know what's going on. They have it all firsthand. And we're just some journalists who are on the internet and who are giving you the news.
This also goes back to my thing too about how this new wave of wrestling, how wrestling is for everyone, and look how bad 80s wrestling is, and look how horrible it was, and this, that, and other. We're cleaning it up, and shocker, still things are going on that are absolutely horrible.
Well, I think wrestling and work rate can always improve, but there's always going to be shitty people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking about like the dark side of the business. There's
yeah,
always going to be
yeah.
the dark side.
You're never going to remove that from any business.
No. But that's my point, though. It doesn't. 30 years ago, from 30 years from now, the same things unfortunately are going to be happening. Hopefully at a smaller clip, but it's not going to go away.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to have this conversation again, but I'm gonna check and see if maybe we can bring someone on the show. Yeah. Hopefully a woman's perspective, because Lord knows there's a lot of testosterone on this podcast.
We're what, 5-6 guys, and we don't.
I would
really
love
get
to get an outside perspective.
Yeah, we don't really have a feminine side to argue with what we are seeing and giving.
So I think for the time being, let's table this for another day where we can spend and actually have that conversation. Maybe bring on some other podcasters.
Yeah.
If I could kick in for a second, I'd also argue too, Matt, maybe a female wrestler / couple female fans as well.
Yeah. I don't know which female wrestler we can get back. Maybe we can talk with. Oh my God, why am I blanking? Camille, yeah. Oh my God, maybe
I like
we can
her.
talk.
She was nice to me.
Yeah, I know we already kind of have her opinion on it, but I definitely think I know there's some fans we might be able to pull on here.
Yeah.
So I'll shoot some messages around and see if maybe we can have this conversation on another day.
Yeah.
Let's go and talk real quick some AEW news before we get to results later. With basketball starting back up, we have some AEWs moved from Wednesdays. So August 19th, that episode was now moved to Saturday, August 22nd.
At 6 p.m.
At
Eastern
6 p.m., which for an hour is going to be at the same time as NXT TakeOver 30.
Oof.
So that's going to be interesting. August 26th, it will now be on Thursday, August 27th at 8 p.m., So we're going to be competing with AEW. Maybe we can find a way to pull it up while we're doing the show.
We will bring in a TV.
And September 16th, Dynamite is now going to move to September 17th on Thursday. So unfortunately, we are going to go head-to-head with Dynamite. Twice.
I will not be on the September 17th show. I will say that right now.
Oh, man. Ben from Colorado going back to Colorado.
No.
For a week.
No, family birthday.
Back to Colorado.
Listen, I need to get
So-
the goods somehow.
So my question to you guys is, do we see the typical numbers on a Wednesday night for primarily just NXT, since we don't have to choose?
I say numbers will probably go up because
Yeah.
there's nothing to compete against.
They'll go. Yeah, he's right. They'll go up for all the, again, like the casual fans and
Will
well,
NXT
AEW's
hit a
not
million?
on. Yeah, well, AEW's not on. Okay, well, we'll just watch. We'll just
Mhm.
watch WWE.
For the fans that go back and watch NXT on the network or record
Yeah.
it, they're gonna watch
I mean,
it live
that's-
because they don't have anything else.
I was about to say that's what I would take.
Yeah.
I typically do, so I will
the-
probably watch it live.
Only thing I think would get in the way are fans like me who have other shows on at the same time.
Discrediting yourself so much. You could just said work. So I'm very interested to see numbers there, and Lord knows we can only imagine what the Twitter war on the ratings will be.
I don't think they're gonna be comparable.
People are still gonna.
Yep.
I do think it's interesting. We had a combined 1.6, just in general of everyone watching wrestling for the ratings.
Yesterday.
Very comparable to Raw's number. So I'm almost curious if NXT will end up having better than Raw. Anyone think it's
Yeah.
possible?
It's
Yeah,
doable. It's doable.
It can happen. Yeah.
I think
can
I
happen.
will purposely not watch Raw just to help it. I want NXT to win.
I've been doing that for a long time.
All right, now real quick, let's talk briefly. We'll try and do this briefly. In fact, I'll give it until 8:30. Raw. I guess for us that's 7 minutes. Raw. We were promised a debut, the return of Shane McMahon, and a stable debut, and we got lights flickering, a box knocked over backstage, and a bunch of people acting like Antifa throwing Molotovs at a power generator outside, and Shane
Which
McMahon running an
makes no
off-brand Fight
sense.
Club. So thoughts?
I appreciate that the WWE continues to do whatever we expect, which is to throw something awful at us and expect
Something
it to
awful and
stick.
vaguely racist, possibly, depending on who it is.
Yeah, I mean,
There's room.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think it even matters. Like,
Yeah, I'm just numb to it all. Who cares?
Yeah.
First of all, you promise a new stable's coming, and then you have like Matt said, like vague signs that there's some terrorist group attacking the show. So what the hell was the point of announcing ahead of time that
Yeah.
some new stable that you didn't introduce? You didn't actually introduce.
We got their name
That's-
on Twitter.
That's their MO. Well,
Well,
Pat, did they put a run in?
guys, the new stable is the Hurt Business.
No, that's Retribution.
they've already been called that.
Her-
I'm
yeah,
pretty
her
sure.
business-
Oh, have they
is-
actually been
yeah.
called that before?
Yeah, that's been weeks
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but so this new stable or faction, did they like do a run in and beat somebody up? Did they
No.
find
They
somebody
turned the lights
backstage?
off. They knocked a
no,
box
they-
over.
And they
Yeah,
threw
yeah, they-
Molotov
With wheels.
cocktails.
Mics
Yeah, they
were
turned the
cutting
lights
in
off
out.
and yeah.
So WWE's Twitter, they're getting invaded by some terrorist group, but WWE's
Ooh.
Twitter announced that it was coming
Yes.
So
for
we
the
knew.
show.
Yeah.
Like what? Like it would have went over much better.
There's a
Had there
trouble
been-
brewing.
So
And also for the record, if you're really gonna book it that way, have the stupid underground segment, which was god awful. Have them do that for the whole hour, not announce that group, and then have that group come take out everybody in the underground
Yeah.
to close the show.
yeah.
I don't know why I have to keep booking your shows for you, WWE, but like,
Pat, why
if
have you not applied yet?
We have.
We did apply. Remember when they had that opening?
Every
We
time
all
they have an
applied.
opening, I apply.
I don't feel like my work getting changed by Vince is worth the 6 figures I'll get for 3 months before being fired.
No, Pat. You'll be promised for a year or 6.
and,
Then you'll be
and then sent home in a pandemic. Also, I have to ask this because we've seen this happen before. To bring up what's going on in the real world, has everyone seen what happened on Tuesday with Lebanon?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
this going to end up being another situation of we're teasing a terrorist
is this-
group? Are we
this
Muhammad
another-
Hassaning this?
No, they're not. First of all, we don't really. There's been very vague about what happened in Lebanon. The official word is that nitrite was what blew up next to the fireworks factory and
Yeah.
all that.
I think
you
it is a
know,
very sad
it's-
occurrence.
No,
That was
I
just a
think-
bad look on.
I think there's a lot more going on there that we're probably not going to find out about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how third world countries work. And there's always a mess going on, and that has not been claimed as a terrorist attack. It's not officially some terrorist attack, and therefore it's still
It
officially an accident, even though I'm sure I'm sure there's way more going on there that we're not going to know
Yeah.
about, or at least
Yep.
anytime soon. So I don't think it's not like, the London bombings were a terrorist act, a terrorist organization claimed, and like that's way different.
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it bad timing? Sure, but it doesn't actually.
I mean, I don't think it's bad. I mean, you had some guys in
don't-
ninja suits throwing a fucking Molotov cocktail. It wasn't
no,
like
no. The ninjas were inside wrestling for
Yep.
the 24/7.
Okay.
title.
Which
Well,
was
they
also a thing on the show.
It still looked the same, and a bunch of guys in black. I don't know, like pajama suits, full pajama suits. I don't know. It was stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And let's spend this last 2 minutes here talking about Underground, because a lot of immediate comparisons were to Brawl for All, and the argument against that so far has been, no, these are all still works, but it's meant to look more real.
Yeah.
Which, what's the point of professional wrestling in a ring if this is meant to look
Matt,
more shoot fight backstage?
They're still in a ring. Just the ropes and turnbuckles have been taken down.
I would love. What time is it? Hold on. It's 8:28. What Matt just said, we need to isolate, because I need to play that back to him periodically. As the years progress. But he is correct. He is correct.
That is kind of my big thing. So we have this billion-dollar company that is now doing illegal backstage fights. Or is it legal, and why are these people getting paid? Like, what? And I don't feel a need to bring up the strippers, but the strippers.
Matt, you
The
said you were.
the hookers.
They weren't strippers. All I need to know, guys, is next week everybody needs to go out and buy
hold
their.
on. Again, sorry, Jeff.
Oh,
Go ahead.
you're fine.
You finish, and then I'll.
Okay, mine's gonna be quick. All I know is everybody needs to go out this weekend and buy a set of black jeans so we can all watch WWE Underground in our black jeans, because apparently they were handing them out at the door at this place.
Wow. Guys, it is
So-
PWO Underground. I assume everyone's wearing their
Guys,
black
it's
jeans
a
right
mix of Tony Hawk's Underground
now. Ben, we don't have time for this joke.
and Raw Underground. What do skaters wear but black
and
jeans?
it's 8:30. On to New Japan.
Hold on. I have to get my point in, even though Ben just wasted our time.
You guys are mad that I'm making the perfect
The-
comparison.
No, you're not.
He
Make him stand out in the rain.
drove. I can't do that.
So, in this age of speaking out, the two major things we're talking about women's wrestling right now, whether or not they should be able to wrestle men, and the fact that you turn on WWE and they have strippers dancing the whole last hour of the show. What do we do? What are we doing? What's going on?
and a bunch of black guys pounding each other, or ethnic people pounding each other, beating each other into a bloody pulp.
That paired with the Antifa attempts there.
Yeah.
Not a great look. New Japan. It's New Japan. We had two of our first rounds. I think 3, but I'm not 100.
Nair with
Four.
the perfect comment. The McMahons lost the football, so he brought the Fight Club.
Nair, New Japan Cup winner. Nair. Shirt should be coming soon.
First ever New Japan Cup winner of
So,
PWO.
First annual.
I believe we actually had 4 first round here, but they only have 2 here written down. Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Goto defeated Kojima, Hanma, and Maccabi. Actually, maybe this is not, because I don't think Kojima was on that team. Kanemaru, the worst wrestler in the world, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi defeated Imura, Ibushi, and Tanahashi. And what is it? I guess the first 2 rounds that were done. Sho, Yano, and Okada, of course, defeated Yujiro Takahashi, Tokyo Pimp, Jado, and Gato in the first round.
You're sleeping on Show, Matt. You're sleeping on Show.
Yeah.
No, I'm not against Sho as a wrestler. I just don't think he was going to win the New Japan Cup.
No.
You're sleeping on Show, guys. You're sleeping on Show.
And the other one, Bushi, Sanada, and Shingo Takagi defeated Duki, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki in the first round. As noted, this tournament's going to continue and will culminate with a final show in Jingo Stadium on August 29th, where we will crown the first ever King of Pro Wrestling 2020.
King of Pro Wrestling.
We're also going to have Hiromu.
Wait, so this is
against
a
Ishimori.
trios title that's called King of Pro Wrestling?
So no, there's a tournament for the
There's-
trios title because it
Yeah.
was vacated because Evil was the current with
Yeah.
Bushi and Sonata, and he left LIJ.
Yeah.
So he was like,
Okay, so the
This-
show is King of Pro Wrestling. This is
"There's another tournament currently going on."
Japan. You do too many tournaments.
Maybe the U.S. doesn't do enough tournaments. Is my
Preach,
argument.
Matt.
I mean, you're not
Preach,
wrong.
Matt.
And so, oh man, Ben, maybe this is on a Monday. I'll let Jeff explain this. King of Pro Wrestling. Jeff, you want to explain it real quick?
Yeah, so no, it's still vague to me because I mean I read it and I looked at it, but they still look like they don't know. So again, fans are going to be able to pick stipulations. You know, I guess,
It's that.
yeah, 3-way, 4-ways, and then from there, I think it's a running.
Yeah, it's
tab
the
or,
Cyber
so by
Sunday
the-
show that I saw online.
Yeah. So by the end of the year or at wrestling quarter, I don't know. You want to be the king of pro wrestling,
Okay.
and you get a trophy.
Oh, so this is
I don't
like
know.
more than
Wow.
just like one show Cyber Sunday. This is like a
Oh,
extended
Real quick.
yes.
where fans are voting
Real
and giving what they want.
Now
Yes.
you're helping me out here. Yes, they were just filler matches. Master Wato is with Kota and Tana, and
Yeah,
Kojima
yeah.
is actually on that team. For some reason, I thought Taguchi was. I thought he was on there
No.
somewhere. Maybe Makabe isn't. I'll have to go back and look, make sure I
Was.
correct that.
Nair, first annual PWO New Japan Cup winner with Art, who is also now the official internet checker for facts.
So,
He's Jamie for all the Joe Rogan guys.
up next, Impact Wrestling, real quick. Moose defeated Heath.
Shocker.
Looked real good in the ring, from my understanding. Got cheated there. Motor City Machine Gun showed up. Had a nice little thing, but were called out by the North. So we're going to get a match between them on the second day of Emergence, which is going to be Impact's 2 shows that they're going to pull coming up here soon. We had Wrestle House. Yeah, this is a great definition here. Only difference between Wrestle House and Raw Underground is that Wrestle House has some degree of self-awareness as to how goofy it is. Eddie Edwards defeated Sami Callihan after Sami Callihan was attacked and then twerked on by RVD and Katie Forbes.
Yep.
Maybe this is me. Why is twerking in professional wrestling?
Because it's in pop culture, so wrestling will mirror pop culture. TJP and
Like-
Fallah Bah defeated Rohit Raju and Chris Bay.
Chris Bay, the Beyblade.
Rich Swan retires.
It's the worst damn segment I've ever seen.
Oh man,
I thought it was great with Eric Young then attacking
I
him.
liked it. I liked
I
liked
just-
Eric
hit-
Young attacking him.
Well, that was fine, but just I don't know. Swan he just didn't have. I guess he's not good at acting enough.
Swan sucks, but
Yeah, I
the
I
end
couldn't get
game
with
was
it.
good.
But Swan is currently your next
I see what they did there. I see what they
champion.
were trying to do, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they're getting Eric Young over.
Young better have some backup though.
Nah, I think he just kills everyone in the roster one by one.
No, because he just turned the whole roster on.
Too
him.
soon, Matt. Too soon.
He's gotta have some backup coming.
I don't know.
Pat, I kind of agree with you. He's a smaller guy. I think he could use like some muscle. I know he's a great wrestler.
See, but my whole thing with this though is he is the dastardly heel, and everyone else's faces who's gonna attack him. They're not gonna attack him from behind.
Yeah, they
Faces
will.
don't do that.
Depends on if you're in AEW or not.
AEW, everyone's a shade of gray. You should know this by now.
There's no faces or heels.
Everybody
I
is
guess.
just is.
Let's go to NXT because we got a lot to talk about between this and AEW. Dakota Kai defeated Rhea Ripley. Dakota Kai is your newest, I believe, Robert Stonebrand.
I'll take it.
Tony Khan doing real good on Wednesday nights, both shows.
Told you.
I don't know if that was you or if that was Drew, but that's funny.
That was me. I told you. I remember months ago. I was like, "Is this a Tony Khan rib?" That's what it looks like to me.
That whole storyline has been really stupid.
The Robbie Stone.
The whole Robert Stonebrand thing has been really.
But
dumb.
Pat,
He had
he
to
got
hit
his
rock
leg
bottom.
ran over by a tank. Have you ever
Well,
had your
the-
leg
the-
ran
the-
over by a tank, Pat?
The problem is you got a guy that's trying to be a heel manager, but has never been a heel manager and doesn't know how to get heat. So that right there means none of this is going to work.
It's been booked super stupid too.
Like
You
you
had
like
a-
you don't even have.
He lost an intergender tag team handicap match to somebody, and then because he becomes the benefactor for Dakota Kai, she beats that woman again. Like, come on.
Yeah, like he doesn't even have like it's like go home heat, like he like you know what I'm saying, like he
It's
he's
turn the
such-
TV
he's-
off heat. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's so bad that like it's not like oh you want to see him get his ass kicked. No, you just
So-
don't want to see him at all.
I want to change the channel.
I got to bring
Yes.
this up because I know Mike really wants us to talk about a certain somebody. Someone made a really good point here is that the further down the totem pole Rhea Ripley falls, the less popular Charlotte's going to be with NXT viewers. I don't think they're wrong.
Because Charlotte did that to Rhea.
That's kind of a lot of people feel that following that Rhea's character all went away the second she won the belt.
Maybe Rhea's character just kind of sucks. Maybe she's not a great talker. Maybe her whole gimmick is really not that good. She's a good in-ring wrestler, but she's also pretty forgettable outside of wrestling.
No. See, I
Her
disagree.
gimmick is dumb.
I think her gimmick is
Her
fine.
brutality is dumb.
No. Her gimmick is fine, Pat. She just can't be doing it with a smile on her face. She has to be a heel.
She did dye her hair blonde.
Like
I'm like,
Oh,
you can't be like I'm tough and
Super
I'm going
push.
to beat everybody up, but everybody smile. Like no,
Well-
she has to be a heel.
be Stone Cold. Like, I don't want to, like, say actually do everything
Oh.
Stone Cold did, but, like,
We got too much of that on AEW.
you can
but
be
go ahead.
you can be a face that, like, isn't bubbly. You don't have to be bubbly to be a face.
No.
No, yes,
That's what
and
I'm
they shouldn't
saying.
be. No, and they shouldn't be making her like
I just
her-
don't think she's that good.
her. I mean, that's fine. Her gimmick on itself is fine, but it has to be applied correctly. Like
Yeah.
you can't. She can't look like that and have that gimmick, and you want her to be Bailey. That's not how it
No.
works.
You
Sorry.
can't have a badass come out and be, smiles,
you can't-
giggles, and
you can't-
hugs.
You can't be Bailey and want her to work like and be Shayna Baszler. That ain't gonna
Alright,
work either.
We're starting to repeat ourselves. Let's move on here. Bronson Reed defeats Shane Thorne. Good match getting Bronson Reed over.
Yep.
Who's Shane Thorne again?
He
I
was
feel like that's a name that I haven't
He
heard
was
in
one half of TM61.
Yep.
and then when other
When was
guy
the
left,
last time he was on TV?
he was actually on Raw and SmackDown for a while with Brandon
doing-
Vink losing to other tag teams.
I want to say Wednesday marked a year since his last win in NXT.
So
Thanks for coming.
So this is the what we're doing on NXT now. We're scraping that low at the bottom of the barrel. Bronson Reed is squashing people.
Bronson
Reed's
Reed's.
and Pat McAfee is knocking out Adam Cole.
See, no. Hey, I think Bronson Reed is better than Shane Thorne.
Turn NXT off and watch.
Also,
Dynamite.
Shane Thorne changed his look to look too much like Killer Cross at this point. You can't have two guys you're pushing at the same time like that.
Shane Thorne sounds like he's ready for the Dark Order, and he doesn't even know it yet.
Nah.
Shane Thorne sounds like somehow he survived the Brood.
Shane Thorne is the unfortunate of what's left behind when your tag partner leaves your company.
Yeah.
The unfortunate son.
So
the land of misfit.
So like,
right.
what happens in that situation? Your tag partner leaves. Well, we'll do something with it.
Move on.
Damian Priest qualifies for the ladder match, picking up a win against Oni Lorcan and Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland actually looks kind of impressive. I haven't seen too much of him before.
If WWE's smart, Damian Priest will win the North American title in that match.
Keep saying this. It's gonna be Bronson Reed. Nah, actually, probably Damian Thorne.
Is that guy gonna climb a ladder?
Damian Priest. Yeah.
Dog,
you know.
My one issue with how they've booked this is here's
Bronson Reed get in that match already?
Yeah, he was the first to qualify.
Yeah. My issue with how they're booking that match is
this is stupid.
From the start here is 4 triple threat matches where the person who wins gets in, the person who doesn't get pins but loses goes to a final qualifier.
Is that official?
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I kind of like that.
The issue is Dexter Loomis got injured, apparently.
I have not seen that.
I heard that on Ups and Downs, I believe.
So if they're smart, here's how they do it. You had 4 triple threat matches, the 4 guys that don't get pinned. Now you have 2 singles matches. You get the wild card and you get Dexter Loomis' spot.
Yeah.
That would be the smart way to do this. Is Kushida in any of these matches?
He is coming up in the next week, and it's going to be Kushida versus...
If Kushida doesn't get into this match, they need to
I don't think he's going to.
They better just get... Can they just cut him? Why can't he be future endeavored? Go home, Kushida. We miss you in New Japan.
It's going to be Kushida. I cannot remember who the second person is, but it's Kushida, someone else, and a mystery opponent.
Oh boy.
I got to be critical of my boy Trips. For as good as he did Nakamura when Nakamura came to NXT is as bad as they've done Kushida since Kushida came.
Yeah.
And they treated that signing at the same kind of level of talent.
Very much so. What they should have done is because I'm sure they've had this booked for a hot minute, and although how live is NXT right now? Are they shooting
I believe everything's taped.
Yeah, so you could have done. We're gonna do 5 ladder matches.
Kushida might. I don't think Kushida's winning. It's Kushida versus Cameron Grimes versus mystery opponent, and you're about to learn.
Oh no!
We're about to learn more about Cameron Grimes as we come up here because he just lost to Keith Lee.
Yeah, but let me finish my thought real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What they should have done is here is 5 ladder matches. Oh, Dexter Loomis is injured. Well, here's one more, or 5 triple threats. And, yeah, I got triple threats and ladders mixed up in my head. And what they should have done is here's a last chance match for the people who didn't get pinned in those 5 matches. Winner of that match gets Loomis's spot.
Well, I think let's see how bad Loomis's injury is first before we can make that decision. I'll be honest, that's the first time I've heard that, so I'm very curious to see what's going to end up happening there. But we'll save that for a Monday when we have more information, hopefully. Like I said, Keith Lee defeated Cameron Grimes.
Was Roderick Strong in one of these qualifying matches?
Yes. He got pinned.
Is Undisputed Era doing anything right now?
We're going to get to the main event.
Dexter Loomis has an ankle injury.
Their best impersonation of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dark Order is great.
Dark Order just beat the Elite and FTR in the same night. And Tegan Knox defeated Indy Hartwell. let's get to AEW here in a minute. We got about 15. Main event time. Imperium defeated Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish with a distraction
So we are
because
just burying Undisputed Era.
because they're all on their way out.
Well, I thought the other guys still had time on their contracts.
I don't know. I think everyone got.
I
signed at the
hope
same
they're
time.
all on their way out. Get out.
So what happened here is a distraction on the commentary section featuring Pat McAfee and Adam Cole led to Imperium picking up the victory. Let's talk Pat McAfee.
Everything is bad about this Pat McAfee thing. WWE NXT Twitter sent out a Adam Cole and McAfee met before the show and squashed their differences and everything's settled between them. And then Pat McAfee ran his dumb mouth all during that match and was calling, in typical
angry elf.
WWE fashion. Oh, he's an angry elf. He's an angry elf.
Yeah.
Why is Pat McAfee being booked as the heel? What the hell is going on with this story? It's awful.
I'm losing brain cells just listening to it.
It's McAfee's gonna go over.
He should.
I have that bad feeling it's going to happen.
If he does, it's going
McAfee
to be by some stupid help.
Nah, I think he's going to win legitimately.
McAfee's
No,
gonna
he's
go
just going to win. Yeah, he's going to win.
What's he going to do? String?
He's going to punt him.
He's going to punt it.
Yeah. Is he going to string him
You
across
saw what
the
just
top
happened yesterday.
the top rope
No.
in the corner and just punt?
No.
No, you guys are overthinking it. He's gonna fake punt him.
We got 10
He
minutes,
does have an
fellas.
arm, Pat. He does have an arm.
Running the fake. So here's the thing with this is they have to be pushing McAfee as the bad guy in this because literally you showed it. Everyone and Beth Phoenix I think left the table. She was so frustrated with him. Adam Cole literally went, "Look, dude, I'm 10, 20 feet away. I can hear every word you're saying.
Well,
I thought we settled this."
That's what I'm talking about. All of that, they booked him as the heel.
Yeah.
Why? You already kind of set up Cole to be the heel by tearing up his radio setup and all that.
No, Cole's the face now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't know
I'm
how much you guys watch of the Pat McAfee show, but he is very loud. He is very abrasive. He is very opinionated.
Yeah, but I mean, we knew that already.
Yeah.
But you're taking your biggest heel on NXT
And
you're
making him a face. Yeah.
making him the face.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know at this point. Let's go over to AEW, which a quick, just slight recap of some interesting things that happened on Dark before we get to AEW. Excalibur's still off on commentary on both. Tony Schiavone and Taz do not pair well.
What? Yeah, okay. Somebody else other than me and Matt go watch Dark and just listen to those two because I was saying to Matt, it's almost got to be a work between them.
Yeah.
It's so bad that for a show that is taped, you would think they would almost go back and overdub it. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It had to be intentionally bad.
Yeah,
I
from
think
the
it's-
little bit I've watched, it has not been the world's greatest commentary.
It's maybe
The
it's
worst.
not obnoxious. It's not obnoxious like Cole.
I was about to say, where
But
would
as
you
far
compare
as,
it with Cole?
No.
It's a whole different kind of awful.
It's
Okay.
like
That's
if
the
we
thing.
sat down and tried to call wrestling, but also Ben, you
We're-
and I haven't
we're-
talked
we're
to each other in
amongst-
4 years.
And about
Wait,
12,
who are you?
And about
Exactly.
12 drinks in.
Ooh, drinks.
It was bad.
Yeah, ribbing each other, and not even playfully.
It
do
smells
you
like
even watch
it
wrestling?
sounds like they're smelling their own farts. Just guys just yucking it up, having a good time because it's
No,
dark.
no, it didn't sound like it was a good time. That's what we're saying.
It sounded very uncomfortable.
Yes,
Like they hate each other. Like the two of them hate each other is what it sounded
Well,
like.
if anybody is looking for a commentary team,
No. So the other two things, when FTR came out for their match, they were consulted in the tunnel with Tully Blanchard, and following their win, met with Sean Spears right outside.
Horseman.
And Scorpio Sky cut an incredible promo.
Yeah.
Saying lately they've been calling me the King of Dark. The issue is that's not my glass ceiling. This isn't where I just sit at.
This chair is a throne.
I've won so many matches. I don't even have the number anymore.
Mm-hmm. Two people have pinned Jericho in AEW.
Mox and him, which is fact, which is crazy. I didn't realize that.
This is what I said.
And he said, "Are you paying attention now?" Which led to what happened yesterday.
This is what I said like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Well, who? If Jericho's not feuding with Orange Cassidy, who's he going to wrestle?" I was like, "Scorpio Sky," and everybody was like, "No, he's in a tag team." I was like, "Oh,
No.
sorry.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Like,
But
sorry.
also, Scorpio Sky was in a tag team at that point.
Guys, time is a myth as of now because of the current situation in
So,
the world.
Wednesday, yesterday, a show opens up, no entrances. Dark Order defeated the Elite, Hangman Page, and FTR.
Yeah. That makes sense, though. You get,
Now, I know, Jeff, I know you had your issues with this match. I really liked the amount of storytelling that they put into this. I don't really want to see them do another multi-man tag like this again, now that we've had 2 in a row. But you kind of build on the tension that any moment now, Kenny and Hangman could erupt. FTR getting injured and Hangman helping them to the back and just disappearing, leaving just Young Bucks and Kenny. Dark Order continuing to pull Colt Cabana in and getting back at Hangman Page for not joining. A lot of moving parts here. That was interesting.
I got a theory on that too.
We're missing the main fact is that one referee cannot successfully ref a 12-man match, and we need 2 refs.
Yeah, referee's discretion. Hit it, Pat.
Well, I'll wait until we get to the wrestler because he's got a match, and then I'll talk about it.
Got you. I think the best part about this is they hinted at the finish. They were going to hit last call, Hangman's rebound lariat, and Kenny's V-trigger. And just at the last second, he moved, and it looked from the camera angle, he was about to hit the buckshot on Kenny, and they pulled Kenny out of the ring. And that was absolutely perfect camera work on that. Just in time for Brody to hit him with the discus lariat. But that, just like 2 seconds of teasing, fantastic. Best Friends defeated Pride and Powerful. Now, not a bad match. A little tired of Best Friends, but I also just think at this point, you gotta have them somewhere. I think
Matt, they're taking the titles off of Hangman and Omega.
No, they already lost their title match.
They're getting another one.
Nah. So, I think the big thing about this, they showed Pride and Powerful really kind of kick out and treat it like, man, that wasn't clean. That wasn't a clean pin. And so they took it out on Sue's van. And that was hilarious, with the exception of the camera in the van. Everything else was great. No one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was good. No, it was good.
Okay.
Good.
Nobody cares about Best Friends.
Nope.
Poor Sue.
Well, people care about Best Friends because Orange Cassidy is with them, Pat.
Nope, he's not Best Friends. He's Orange Cassidy. He even has his own music now.
Call him what he is, the draw. MJF addresses his campaign staff. I think MJF has made Jeff a believer and Cod Sinclair a believer.
Well, I was already a believer. Now, since there's something worth talking about, MJF is the best thing on the show,
and he better win the world title.
I'm living vicariously through him. Everything he does is gold. It's all, it's no filler. It's all 100%, and I absolutely love it.
All killer.
He should win the title, but if he doesn't, who takes the belt off of Moxley?
No one ever.
The way he works, no one.
Yeah.
All right.
It better be MJF.
I think MJF. If it's not him, than
I
Kenny
already-
on the single run. But I think at that point you're pulled
I
in that too long.
already told Matt how they need to book this, and it's Wardlow plays a major role in MJF winning the belt.
Yeah.
He helps him win his first title defense. He does something to piss MJF off enough that MJF like blows up on him, and you get the Wardlow face turned.
Yeah,
And
but this needs to be a long. I mean,
Yeah.
6 months.
Remember,
yeah,
pay-per-views are there's only 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So.
And then you get MJF without Wardlow against a major opponent for the world title. Everyone expects he'll drop the belt because he doesn't have Wardlow, and then he wins clean. And then
Wardlow is in a
Ward-
shark cage.
No, he's already left. Because if you were listening,
I was.
then Wardlow, having been face turned, wins the belt off MJF 6 to 8 months down the line.
I'm good with that. That should be.
Yep.
Following that, Sammy Guevara destroys Matt Hardy.
The chair throw.
God, I loved this, but apparently he got a lot of heat for that chair throw.
I mean, yeah, because he picked the chair up and just threw it at his head, and then jumped off the top of the thing and didn't even well, wherever I land is wherever I land.
You know what? Matt Hardy booked that segment, so Matt
Like-
Hardy told him to throw that chair.
Uh,
You can't give him heat for an accident
Yeah.
happening.
yeah, no.
I mean, I'm
the
not giving him heat for
one
sending him,
thing
but
that
it
I
just-
would have changed is why didn't he just collapse the chair? Because we all know, the collapsed chair is the appropriate way to throw a chair.
Because it was
a lot
because
to
it was
take
real
in.
because it
just
looked
was a-
real instead of fake chair shots look nowadays.
True.
It
just
looked
was a lot to take
like
in.
he was actually trying to hurt him, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was a great segment. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably the best segment of the night. And
So we're gonna move on real quick because we're starting to run out of time. Cordona and Cody defeated Alexander and Silver because Silver can't win anything.
Cordona has 3 more appearances on his
Contract.
His last appearance is going to be Colt Cabana murdering him to show his loyalty to the Dark Order and officially joining the Dark Order.
Oh, I didn't know he had like a.
He's
couple
on
of
a
days.
5-date contract.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's a trial contract.
I
though.
think it's
maybe
I
he's
think it
here for
is-
5, then he'll go work in Impact for a little bit, and then he'll come back to
Yeah.
AEW.
I think it is very much a trial impact or a trial contract.
He looked great in ring.
I think Cabana's going to put him out, and that's going to be like your ultimate loyalty to the Dark Order, since they have the Dark Order thing running with them.
I could buy them injuring him. I don't know about actual
When
murder.
is when's the next pay-per-view for AEW?
All Out in September. First weekend.
far enough away that Corona will be out of dates if he wrestles every week.
Unless
yeah.
they sign him for one more, but I don't imagine that.
Yeah. Sign him until All Out or something like that.
Three more Dynamites doesn't get him through August.
Well, I was about to say, just 4? Get him to that
I mean,
first week?
I'm
Makes you wonder if that
not
first appearance counts.
It does.
Gonna lose any sleep if I don't see Matt Cardona. Sorry.
I thought he looked good. Hopefully he continues to build from there.
You guys are missing. It's the Strong Island, though.
Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy had their debate. Eric Bischoff returned to TNT for the first time in 20-something years.
26.
26. Jesus.
He
So,
was back. He was back, and he was better than ever.
I thought he did really well in the segment. I liked it.
The only question I saw was the water level rise, which is I love being a science guy. I loved like how in depth Cassidy went with it. I'm sure they had a team of scientists.
All Orange Cassidy.
You really think?
No, I'm just totally bullshitting you.
I don't
Okay.
think it took
Oh.
scientists to write that.
I mean, yeah,
I think that was a quick Google search.
true. Or even they just took that top paragraph
Yeah.
off of
Yeah.
Wikipedia, like you do when you're writing a paper in high school, and you're like, I need, another paragraph to bullshit, so I'm just gonna throw it in there and edit a few words and say it's mine, or even quote Wikipedia.
So, following that, I thought we got the best bit of Orange Cassidy's character reveal, where he finally said, "You're right, Chris. I don't care that you're trying to embarrass me, but I do care about our match next week." because it might be my biggest match, but it definitely is yours. What happens if you actually beat me? You're Chris Jericho, the champion. You've been everywhere. You've held the titles. You've main event everywhere. But losing to me, there's no bigger disgrace because I don't care. Which is A, self-burn, but also B, like, yeah, there's the motivation. When you guys were asking what ticks him off to make him actually go, someone actually kind of pisses him off enough to fight him.
I disagree. I thought that was dumb, and I hate Orange Cassidy again. I was coming around, and I actually felt opposite about this promo.
I'm gonna say one thing. Thank you, Patrick. I'm good.
No, I really was coming around to him, and I was enjoying this feud until that whole thing. I thought it was dumb. Saying like me beating you could be the worst thing to happen in your career. Like, well, now you get nothing out of beating Jericho if you beat him. Like, you've already buried yourself, stupid.
Thank you, Patrick.
It's bad. It's bad writing. It's bad continuity.
Thank you, Patrick.
Following that, we had Big Swole defeat Reba. Big Swole.
Now I'm just imagining Reba McEntire wrestling Big Swole.
She shouldn't be putting her hands on Reba like that either. I need to send an email to somebody.
Big Swole is everything I want Naomi to be.
Yes. Actually, yes. All right. Main event time. Jon Moxley defeated Darby Allin at the buzzer, honestly, because AEW was getting ready to go off the air. Solid match. Every time I watch Darby Allin actually compete in ring in a one-on-one match, I forget how actually fast he is.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes me back to seeing him live, and he was faster live than... Yeah. It's crazy to me.
Matthew, he better be fast. He's 100 pounds. He can only be fast. That's
according
the only
to
attribute
MJF, he shouldn't be worried about facing a 120-pound emo kid.
Yeah, that was the best thing ever. MJF.
And he's right.
We were like, well, what if Darby Allin wins? Oh, like I'm worried about a 120-pound emo kid. Yeah, that makes me upset.
Which led to MJF interfering in this match and just bashing the AEW title on Moxley. Allin hits the coffin drop, and oh my God, this was the closest count I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mox cut it close on the pop.
And Mox, of course, wins with Paradigm Shift lifting variation. Thank God, the best version of that.
Yeah.
After the promo he had cut earlier, where he's like, "Look, I get it. I was just like you. Just know that when it's time to stay down, because I don't want to almost break your neck again."
Him cradling Darby Allin after pinning him, that was awful. It's so
Thank you, Pat.
Stupid.
Pat needs to be on the show more often.
That goes against
Just remember that, Jeff.
It goes against Moxley's character completely.
Yeah, you're right, man. Damn it. This whole show, AEW, like barring MJF, there really isn't anybody that kind of doesn't like anybody. Like everybody's well, let's have a good contest and let it be fair and let's all of us do what we can do and do the best we can. Nobody cares about
Inner Circle.
Should I bring up the code of honor?
Inner Circle.
But I'm just saying, like nobody, this is why Kendricks was refreshing the other day. Like, hey, guess what? You know what, Cody, I don't like you, and I don't like everything you give, and I want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. You know what I mean? Like, now everybody can't be that way. I understand that, but it's just so much like. I don't know why Mox is treating this kid like he's his little brother. I don't know. Maybe because they're actually the same character and they work the same.
Yeah. No, Jeff, but I totally agree.
One's more high flyer, one's more brawler.
Jeff, it does feel very much like AEW. It's
everyone.
Everyone's a tweener. Everybody loves everybody. All of their matches kind of. Even though they lead to something, it's not like, this is a satisfying payoff for this feud.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, here's a feud, matches. But it's like, where's the blood boiling,
outside of
pissed off.
Dark Order and Inner Circle, you don't really have many heels. And MJF, and the heels you have, you're not really putting over in the same way. Like
they're not.
Cage,
Lucha Brothers are bad guys.
Yeah,
and
Butcher and Blade.
Butcher and Blade, yep. And
Yeah, but they job, so
They
they're not
just
gonna
won
do
on
anything.
Tuesday.
Hopefully,
listen.
hopefully Kenny is going back to the cleaner and we get heel Kenny. That would be a good shot in the arm.
You know
Maybe
who they
maybe
Cody
that'll help
always on
some
the verge of
chaos.
turning.
Cage.
He's already a heel.
He's already a heel,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
don't. You know,
Him and,
Yeah.
He
him
was
and
just in the
Stark-
main event 2
Heels-
weeks ago and was
Him
barred
and
from the show this week.
him and Stark
Yeah,
are
and
heels, but
nobody
we need more of
cares.
it.
yeah.
Well, nobody cares because what did you do? You built them all the way up to a title fight and then lost.
Yeah, that's
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying, Pat. That's what I'm
Thank
saying.
you, Patrick. Yeah,
just
thank
like
you, Patrick.
Lance Archer.
Yeah, you have him come out and rip a ladder in his first 5 seconds to build up this. Look how strong I am. I'm the best guy here. You have him get buried under a chip and thrown over, and that's covered with chairs and
Well,
tables, and you have him break out of that, and then he does nothing since.
He should have. Yeah, he should have won.
Well,
the title.
like Pat said, the only really heel is MJF. Like
Yeah.
all the other heels that have
Jericho?
been booked as in like yeah, but he's
Sammy?
not. I mean,
Hager.
yeah, but
the inner circle. Right?
Yeah, Inner Circle. Dark Order.
yeah, yes, but they're not going to do anything with him, Matt. I mean, I'm talking like give me a singles heel that's not like some mindless like I'm just mad at the world heel. Like
Brody Lee.
yeah, I don't get it. Again, guys, all these people they're not doing anything with.
Yeah.
Give me one heel that they're going to do something with, not name MJF.
Archer should be on the show every week.
Yes,
they are
this is
leading
what-
up to Archer Scorpio Sky, I believe. Archer responded to Scorpio's promo.
That's
But for
fine.
what?
That's
But
fine.
for what?
If Scorpio Sky beats Cody for the belt.
Yes,
Relevance?
yes,
Being on the show.
No, it's stupid. If
it's
you-
stupid. Yeah,
If you continue.
Not everyone can win the title immediately.
Nobody, but
No,
nobody's
you-
won the title. It's
Yeah.
been Cody and Mox.
you want me to tell you why Archer's not on the show? Because they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because they screwed up and he didn't win the tournament like he should have.
Yeah,
Yes,
He should have broke Cody's damn arm. Cody should have
Yes.
for 3 months. Cody
Yes.
should have had to run the show with a sling on for 3 months.
yeah.
yes, yes.
I don't know about that personally, but
Well, that's
I can
just
respect
'cause-
it.
That's just because
Of course you don't.
That's just because you love your Eddie Kingston, Warhorse.
Whoa.
You love these stupid challenges every week where you get independent guys who aren't on contract.
So did I when on
Matt-
the show did I say I like
Matt-
Warhorse? Answer that
Matt-
question.
Matt,
When on the show did I say that?
Matt,
When in the group chat
Matt,
did I say that?
Warhorse
Nah.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you. We said the
Oh.
same thing last week, Pat.
Also,
Catch up on the times.
Also, your opinion's bad, and Archer should have won the title.
My only
Pat,
thing is this.
You're off the show.
My only thing is this.
I'm off the show for truth.
You got
Matt, you're demoted to Wednesdays. Pat, you're coming on every Thursday.
I won't
Ben,
be
you're
far
off the
behind
show.
you, Matt.
Pat, we're defecting. Thursdays now officially PWO
Okay.
Underground. That is you and me, and we will be going in direct competition with Monday's night PWO Overground, which has Matt and Ryan.
You
Overground.
really just call me Overground.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah,
like I
PWO
said-
You're saying
Overground.
I'm more over than you?
No,
That's
no.
what you just said.
I said, Matt, you are
I'm
overground.
literally above.
Matt, you are
There
just
it is.
Can we listen to Jeff?
go for it, Jeff.
Ryan, when you're gonna comment as yourself and not the podcast.
all I'm saying is I'm not saying Archer is the answer to every single problem. That's not what I'm saying. But
No.
we have a program where again we see more Marco Stunt and indie talent than we do Lance Archer, who's signed
Here's
is
my
is
issue.
a legit tough guy, like an actual tough guy.
And
What
a
happens
bad-
when
great heel.
MJF is on not MJF, I'm sorry, Lance Archer is on every week killing somebody? What happens?
Well, no,
He
no, no, but-
loses the luster.
He lost
No.
the luster when he lost to Cody.
No matter what, he was gonna.
Yeah,
He should have beat Cody.
Yeah.
he should have. Yeah.
And then he
That was
plays
the-
a chicken shit
that's
heel
the point.
with the title, who wrestles,
then does he
once
feud
every
with?
month.
It doesn't have
There
to be a
are
chicken
more
shit heel, but-
heels than faces.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
there's
Yes.
not.
Brody, Archer,
There's
Cage,
more-
Stark, Eddie Kingston, because you just signed him. All of Inner Circle. All of Dark
Yeah, but-
Order.
Okay, so all of the elite.
None of those people, but none of them people they're going to do anything with. I'm talking about guys that actually have the gusto to do
all
something that
of
they're
the
going to book.
elite,
You could
Moxley, Orange,
Who's
Cat,
already holding the world
Darby
title. So Mox is out.
Allin,
Hell, have Matt Cardona face him in one of his 5
Not
appearances.
signed. So if we don't want them
Guy.
having people not signed, he ain't there.
SCU.
But Matt,
SU's a tag team.
what? if-
No, the problem is there's too many tweeners. That's the
Yes.
problem. That's the problem. Is 1 week the same guy will work heel, the next week,
And-
he works face, and then when you start doing that, then you jumble everything up.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, you've got the best tag team division in the world, and you've got 2 singles wrestlers as your tag champs, WWE. Just
Well,
saying,
we have
you're
been complaining about that.
You are doing the WWE thing with your tag belts for
Yeah.
some dumb reason,
Well, because they didn't know what to do with those guys. That's why.
Yeah.
because they're afraid to make Kenny a bad guy.
Well, because Kenny couldn't win the world title immediately.
That's why he should be the cleaner and just assassinating people as a bad guy.
Listen, as much as I hate Kenny Omega, they missed the boat on that. He should have came in and been. So you don't take a top guy. Well, dare I
People
say it,
don't-
a top
look.
guy. So you take the hottest thing in wrestling. He's no one's ever wrestled like this before ever. And his storytelling is on another level, above everybody else's in the business ever.
Yeah.
So you take him, and then you bring him in, and everybody's like, "Man, what are they going to do with him?" And they don't do anything with him. All I'm saying is that point in time, Matt.
You got
can't
beat
get
by
back
you got
anymore.
beat by Jericho.
Like, yeah, you
And then
can't
you
get it
faced
back
Mox.
anymore. Yeah.
You got beat by Mox.
You can't get it back anymore. Like
Yeah.
they should have put the belt on him and ran with it
Damned
and
if you
did
do,
whatever
damned
they
if
were
you
going
don't.
to do.
Because if the belt's on him, the whole thing is going to be, well, he's an executive. Of course he won.
The problem is the
And you're
majority-
right. You're right. But you take that, like, you still have to roll with that momentum. I just felt like you had to go with that momentum.
How's it any
You could-
different than Cody carrying this belt since its inception?
Because it
no-
wasn't the world title. That's kind of the big thing there. Look
I
at
don't mind hold
general
on.
reaction will tell you that one. And they still get shat on for it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
mind
Young
Cody
Bucks and
having
Kenny
his-
haven't won any titles, but Cody Rhodes got a belt on his. On his
Kenny's the
waist.
tag champ.
No, a singles title.
Sure, but he's holding gold currently.
Yeah, but he's not a tag. He's not a tag team wrestler. That's what I'm saying. WWE.
Look,
No,
and
he's not.
It's the
I'm
same,
with you on that. But what I'm
same thing we complain about for WWE. You got to be consistent.
and it's the same thing that I've been saying
It's a-
on this show.
it's a
But you
problem.
can't put someone who's an executive producer as your champ right away.
Those
I
are
agree.
their
I think they're dropping the belt
but-
at all out.
but-
But
but
All right,
but
Jeff
Matt,
Jarrett.
those are their problems to figure out.
Yeah.
Not ours.
They kind of screwed the pooch there because they had.
Yeah.
So-
Here's
yeah.
the
should-
greatest
they
wrestler
shouldn't-
of
They
modern.
shouldn't have came out and told you that they were.
Yes,
And
I was EVP, and no, yeah.
But here's
those
the
are
thing:
their
if you
problems.
don't do that, does AEW even get off the ground? Just with Tony
Yes.
Khan coming out
Yes.
and then saying, "Hey, we signed all of these guys. This is gonna do
Yes.
it."
Matt, you're telling me if Tony Khan comes out and
Yes.
says, "Hey,
I
I've
didn't know
started
Tony
a
Khan existed till Cody Rhodes said his name.
Doesn't
I'm just gonna be
matter.
real.
If they have, the
I know
same,
his dad.
If they have the same press conference that they had when all those guys showed up
and
Yeah,
just
it
say,
would have been
and said,
fine.
"This is all the top talent we've signed. My name's Tony Khan. I'm starting All Elite Wrestling.
Well, and then we
here is the group that we're building our roster from, and you have the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and Jericho. Yes, people are still
people were
are still
starving
doing
so much. People were starving so much for something else that that wouldn't have mattered. It
Would
could have been
not
any.
have.
It could have been literally been any.
Yeah.
Tommy
Hell.
Dreamer could have started a wrestling thing, and everybody would have been on.
yeah, hell,
It just-
you
He
could have
did
come
though.
out.
House of Hardcore has fallen flat on its face.
Tommy
Well,
Dreamer. He's saying anybody could have started
Yeah.
this
Hell,
wrestling
I'm
you
just
could have
saying,
come
like,
out and said,
with
anybody.
these signings.
yeah.
Yeah,
With
you could have
the-
put one head figure above the talent that AEW had, and it wouldn't mattered. You know what I'm saying?
I think the big part of that though is that they push that this is a wrestlers company for wrestlers. Coming
Yeah,
out
but
and
that's
saying
never-
that that's not a part of it.
The fans don't need to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But
mean,
how
it
do we
comes
know it's
out
not gonna be any
eventually at
different from
some point.
WWE?
But
But
Because one
wrestlers
millionaire
don't-
decided to start a company. It's the same thing we've seen years and years and years. There's episodes of Dark Side of the Ring about it. Look
Yeah,
at the
but
talent
anytime-
those companies signed.
True, but anytime wrestlers run the company, they run it into the ground. There needs to be one solidary booking, and the buck has to stop. Buck has to stop with somebody. You can't be doing a bunch of stuff with your friends and figuring out, because then it's going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
We're now 15 minutes over. I'd love to
we
have
need
this
to roll.
conversation again here next week.
works for me.
Next week, you need to start with this and then leave the trash on the back end.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll make sure we're not booking anyone to come on the show just to make sure. But
You know, if
first show we
somebody
have,
comes
we
on the
don't.
show, you know, we're
Oh, well,
definitely.
yeah, that's
So-
different. Yeah.
With that, Pat, even though we just argued for 20 minutes, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, someone's got to set you straight.
Jeff,
Pat,
call him
please,
a schmuck.
Well, okay. Well, listen. Listen.
And we're on for another 5 minutes.
No. No, this is quick. Pat, you know what to do for continuity's sake. But yeah, you need to go. You need to be on the show a little bit more. Someone's got to talk sense into your brother.
Jeff, I'm telling you,
Weren't you
Pat
just
and I
here
are
like
running
a week or two
PWO.
ago calling him a schmuck?
Well,
Where's
like
your
I said, Pat,
continuity, Jeff?
I just said that. I said, Pat, you know what you can do. I won't say it on the podcast for continuity's sake. But you know.
And I'm saying, Pat, you and I are running Thursdays. We're going to be PWO Underground. Matt and
And
Ryan can go run Mondays
All right,
with
but you
PWO
can't claim any of the
Overground.
interviews under this name. I have
Man,
a copyright.
you don't even listen to the things I say on the show. I gave a whole. I promoted a whole thing, and you were like, "Oh, in a tiger cage." What?
We gotta go. Let's go. Wrap this
Roasting.
up.
All right. As always, from PWO Underground. We're still better than Raw. Put it at 10, work your way back. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye. Like, share, subscribe.
Bye, everybody.